Chris here with Barnyard Outdoors. Out in the wind, hopefully the mic is working well to deaden some of that wind sound for you. But I got something new that I have got to show you. This thing is awesome. Absolutely love it. And I got to thank the company that sent it to me because they did send it to me to do a review. But you're going to like this, and you're going to see why I think this is something that you might want just for around the town, or like me, taking it out to the park, checking out campgrounds. And here it is. This is the Mooncool TK1 folding electric trike. Now this thing comes 95% assembled, and I'm going to throw some pictures up on the screen. But when I got it, that was 100% right. It actually took probably less than 15 minutes for me to get it assembled. What did take a while was actually going through and disconnecting all of the zip ties that were securing it in the package. But it came folded. All I had to do was put the wheel on, attach a front basket, and I was ready to go. It's got a range of 35 to 60 miles with a 16 mile per hour top speed. The load capacity on this, 350 pounds. And you can see it's got two baskets, one nice wide one on the back and a smaller one up front. And that is great for hauling around some extra gear or groceries or whatever you're doing with this. The motor is a peak 750 watt, and it's got a 48 volt, 14.5 amp hour battery. This has been a lot of fun. This is the third campground I've actually taken it to. I took it out camping last weekend and used it just to zip around a campground. If I needed to run down to the bathroom or just zip around to the little convenience store there to get ice cream, it just worked great. So let's look at some of the other features. Like I said, it's got a basket here in the front, and it also has a basket in the back. You will see that it does have not just reflectors here. These are actually lights that light up and light up when the brakes are on. And back here, it's got another brake light and turn signals, plus then a reflector here on the back of the basket. On the front, it also has a reflector, and it also has a very nice large headlamp. It's perfect that it is a trike because it is designed for people who might not feel that stable or comfortable on a bike. And if you look here, the step height getting onto this thing is nice and low. Another nice thing about this is it came with all of these things. I actually have two other accessories I don't have hooked up right now. It does come with a bottle holder that you can mount right there. And then it also came with a little bungee cord mesh netting that you can put over the basket, keep your stuff in there if you're hauling it around. Other features I really like about this trike, it's got hydraulic disc brakes in the front and in the rear. Plus it's got a rear differential, which makes it easy to take corners and make turns on this thing, allowing the rear tires to rotate at different speeds, front and rear brake controls, and there's a parking brake on these. I've seen several of these trike review videos, and not a lot of them have this parking brake. I think that's the greatest thing ever. You just pull this handle tight, pull this little clip in, and the brake has been applied. It's not going to roll away from you. I have a steep driveway at home, and this thing will roll right down the driveway without the brake on. To release the brake, you just pull that, and it unclips. Controls are pretty standard for an e-bike here. You've got your battery power, You've got a place here where it will show you your assist levels, and this is going to show your miles per hour. You can change this to display things like voltage and other information about the battery and what's going on. I prefer just having the miles. And yes, I do already have 41 miles on this thing. I've been having a blast with it. If we go over here to the other handlebar, you will see here's where your turn signal controls are. Right now the brake is locked, so the brake lights are on as well. So it's an e-bike. It's an e-trike. I mean, how awesome is this? So the battery lasts a really long time. I have not done a full range test on it, but I've got some ideas of taking this thing and actually putting my camping gear in it and driving it out to a campground. So if you think that's a cool idea, let me know down in the comments below. But battery recharge, anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. I've ridden this thing several miles this past weekend, and the battery is still showing right up there at the top bar. So I'm not worried about the battery life. I'm actually very impressed with how well it works. I've taken some trips around town on some of the bike paths, and it just zips right along. Now, 16 miles an hour is not a lot of speed for some of these e-bikes, but it's a trike. It's a little different when it comes to turning corners and actually maneuvering this thing around. It's not designed for somebody who's looking for speed. This is designed for people like me, right? I'm older. I might be a little overweight. So something like this is perfect for me because of the stability and because of the capacity of it. So enough talking about the trike. There's a lot of information. I know what you want to see is me ride this thing around and see how well it works. So let's do that. Here we go. So I've got this on pedal assist 2, and it handles it really well. I'm actually really impressed with the torque you actually get out of this. I've never had any problem making it up any hill, and we'll try some hills when we're out here. It's got plenty of power to do that, and that is a huge benefit. Oh, this wind is crazy out here. So this has no problem driving over on a paved road or crushed rock or gravel, as long as it's not too fresh of gravel or the crushed rock isn't too thick. I mean, it can power through it. It can just be a little bit bumpy. Because it is a trike, you do have shocks up front on the front wheel, and there are some springs on the seat, but the back wheels there is no shock or spring on. And what will happen is if you're on an angled road, you will definitely notice it because those back wheels always stay that direction. They both are in contact with the road, so the whole bike will tilt a little bit. It takes a little bit to get used to that. It also takes a little time to get used to turning. You need to slow down for corners. You don't want to turn the wheel too much and jackknife the trike, which I'm pretty sure you could do. A friend of mine was riding it, and he made a comment that he's used to a bike where you have a basket attached to the handlebars, so it's a little different when you turn and you don't see the basket move. Like I said, I'm in pedal assist 2 right now, and we are going to zip up this road, and it's very easy to do. Pedal assist 2 has got me at about 8 miles an hour, and there is a throttle over here on this side, and this throttle only turns about a quarter of a turn, but it goes through the full range of speed, so it doesn't matter what your pedal assist is set to. It will just go. This is a pretty good hill. I just gave it some throttle, and I'm going to zip right up it. Now, there's some ruts in the road, and you do have to slow down for those. No problem going across grass with this thing either. It handles it just fine. You just got to look out for holes and other things you might not see. Back on the pavement here. And I'm going to take this up to pedal assist 5. And that'll get my speed up to about 15, 16 miles an hour. Pushing the limits of my microphone here. Now, one other thing that's kind of nice, I'm clipping at about 15.6 miles an hour. If I press and hold the minus button, it turns on the cruise control, and then it's just going to go. Just going to go on its own. And then when you push the brakes, it disables that cruise control. I'm going to turn it back on because I'm on an open area here right now, just kind of zipping along the road. And this is what I really like about it, is it'll fit in my car, and I can take it out camping. Like I said, I went out camping last weekend with this and had a great time. I had plenty of room, not only for my tent and all my camping gear, but I also had room for a pretty large refrigerator, car refrigerator that I took with me that I was testing out. So the horn on here is really not much to talk about. It's pretty much just a beep, right? Now the turn signals work great. The problem I have with the turn signals is that, much like the turn signals in my car, sometimes I forget that I have them on, and there's no click or anything with this, so you're just on your own. But even the washboards on this road are not bad at all. And I'm just pedaling away, and honestly, the pedaling I'm doing right now is just telling the motor that I just want to keep going at 16 miles an hour. Actually, 15.6 miles an hour. Snake right between those speed bumps there. Now the width of the rear wheels is about the same width as the handlebars here, so that makes it gives you a good way to kind of judge that. This thing is just so much fun, and it handles these roads pretty well. It is by no means an off-road bike. There are some trails off into the woods here I'd love to go explore, but this is not the bike for that. But for cruising around the park, oh, there's a speed bump. Gotta pay attention. You always get a lot of interesting looks when you're out driving something like this. Trying to refill this lake. Doesn't look like they've gotten very far. But for carting around a park, this is awesome. And having these baskets, if I'm going to zip around and collect some firewood that people have left, this is the perfect way to do it, because I've got access to the entire campground here, and it's so comfortable and so stable to ride. Now if you take a corner a little fast, because of the way it angles, sometimes you'll need to lean into that corner a bit just to adjust the center of gravity. You're not really leaning with the bike, you're just adjusting to make sure you don't feel like you're going to fall over. Sometimes where you camp, you're not close to the restrooms, you can just zip down to the restroom. Like I did on that last camp out. Just rode it down to get some ice cream. It was a hot day. The power on this is impressive on these hills. I just cannot get over how it can pull those hills with all my weight on it. And other stuff. I actually had to recharge a battery pack in the last camp out. I'll throw a picture up of that. And I just threw it in the back basket and drove it down to a place where I could plug it in for a bit. It's my turn. So it handles a variety of terrain pretty well here. Let's go off into the grass. Like I said, you got to worry in the grass about more about the holes and stuff you don't see, and they're out here. But I can easily just ride it down here to what is supposed to be the beach area. As you can see, there's no beach now. It just opens up a whole bunch of possibilities when it comes to getting out, exploring new areas around the park. It's a lot nicer to be out in the open air than driving around in my car. So there's going to be a lot of times where I just take this out. I want to go explore an area, and this gives me that extra capability to, go off the beaten path. Some pretty decent hills. Trying to get out of here. Not worried about the hills. I'm worried about getting high centered here, but that shouldn't be a problem. All right. And this is just using the throttle. No problem. No problem whatsoever. Just zip right up this hill back to the car. So let's talk about my favorite feature of this. Folds up. Now, I don't fold it completely in half, but it does have a section here where you can fold it around. What I found when putting it in my SUV, even with the handlebars folded down, it's a little tall, so I got to pull the front wheel. Luckily, that is super easy to do. One thing I do recommend is have the brake on when you're doing this, so it doesn't try to roll away from you. Super simple to do here. Just release the handlebar, fold that down. I'm going to pull the battery off. This weighs about 100 pounds. Every little bit of weight you can pull off of there is beneficial. I'm going to raise the seat up, pull the battery, and then I put the seat all the way down when I put it in. Then all I need to do is pull the tire and put it in. And you can see, even I can lift it. And believe me, I'm not in very good shape. Unlock the front wheel and loosen it up. And that just pops right off. Set it down gently. And then just load it up in the car. Now, I've got the parking brake on. I'm going to turn that off because I want the rear wheels to roll. And then I just place it in the vehicle. And then I'm going to go ahead and lock this wheel so it doesn't roll around on me. Throw the front wheel down. It's not going to go anywhere. So as you can see, this thing is transportable. It's still big. But like I said, I went camping with this. I'll throw a picture up on the screen of my loadout. It does take up a considerable amount of room in here. But it's easy to load up, easy to take out, and an absolute joy to ride around a campground like this, or even just around town. When I get home, I'll take it out, put it in the garage, and I'll use it just to ride around the neighborhood. I have an absolute blast with this. My wife says that I'm ridiculous for loving this little trike so much, but it is a lot of fun. And I cannot wait to get it out on more of the local trails and zip around town and just have day adventures with it. With the baskets, it's great. I can throw in stuff in there that I'm going to take for like a picnic at the park. Then I can go 5-6 miles to the nearest park on some of the bike trails, and I can easily enjoy my afternoon and then ride home. So let me know what you think of this Mooncool TK1. This thing is awesome. Absolutely love it. I'm very glad that Mooncool gave me the opportunity to review this thing, check it out, and get it out on these little trails and parks and roads and zip around. It's just a blast. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There's going to be more stuff coming, plus some more adventures with the TK1. This thing this is going to be a lot of fun. And like I said, I want to try a camp out to this exact park. This park is about 10 miles away from my house. There's no real bike trails to try to get out here, so I'm trying to find a good route that would keep me off of a lot of main roads. I'd love to come out to this park just riding this with all my camping gear in it, spend the night, and then drive home the next day. So what do you think? Leave it in the comments below, and thanks everybody for watching.